And the camera's frozen. Give me 1 sec to fix it, guys. I don't know what's been happening. The camera keeps freezing on me off and on today. But with that, literally, like right before I clicked live, it wasn't frozen. I clicked live, poof, it went frozen. Well, not live, but click the whole, go from the starting soon to not starting soon to live. Here you see me anyways. We're starting off with a shit show. Kind of like this Dynamite. I wouldn't call this Dynamite a full-on shit show, but I wasn't a big fan. I thought it was okay at best. Just meh, whatever. I wasn't the biggest fan of tonight's Dynamite. I'm going to be completely honest. I thought it was all right. Boring at times and just there for the most part. Just really kind of just there, if I do say so myself. But we're going to get into it. We got a lot to talk about. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PWU Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast services all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. Remember, if you're watching live on Twitch, you can help us out a couple of different ways. You can either help us out by hitting that donate button down below or by donating Twitch bits in the live chat. Also, remember, you can help us out by subscribing to the channel one of two different ways. You can either subscribe with a tiered subscription, or you can subscribe with Amazon Prime, because remember, if you have Amazon Prime, then you have Prime Gaming. Prime Gaming gives you a lot of cool things like free games, free stuff for games, and you always get one free subscription to any Twitch channel you want to subscribe to throughout the month. And I'd greatly appreciate it if you did right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, you can help us out over on YouTube. Help us out over there by hitting the subscribe button. That way you know when we post new videos. That way you know when we go live. And that way you know when we post to the community tab. Also, remember to hit the join button and become a channel member. As a channel member, you get a bunch of different perks. I will be posting tonight our Dynamite graphics, our Dynasty graphics. My dyslexia, Dynamite, Dynasty, Dyna. It's still screwing with my head, but I will be posting those up tonight, so you get them in the morning. If you're even just at the $1 tier, no, the $5 tier, the $1 tier is going to get the tutorial that I'll be working on and putting out the next day or two as well. So keep an eye out for that. There's one thing that is exclusive to us. No other wrestling website or no other wrestling website or YouTube channel is doing that. Creating custom graphics for basically every pay-per-view they cover, and then teaching you how to create them or giving you the graphics to use. So that is something exclusive you can get from us here at Pro Wrestling Unlimited. Also, remember, if you want to get your comment, question, or concern read live on the air, you can do so by donating a super chat in the live chat. And why is the quality of this stream so low? I changed it and set it higher, but I could tell it's kind of grainy. For some reason, the settings got bumped down. Let's do this and bump them up a little bit. Bump them up. Bump them up. Anyways. Also, remember, you can help us out by going over to the Epic Game Store. And when buying something, use this code right here, PWU NLIMITED, for all Epic Games and Epic Game Store purchases. Pretty sure the Epic Games spring sale is over now, or it ends like within the next couple of hours. It's over now, it looks like. They're no longer promoting it. But got a lot of cool things that you can get right now. They've got 25% off select cosmetics in Fortnite, a lot of samurai gear and whatnot. They're really pushing Last of Us Part 2 remastered on PC, because remember, Last of Us Season 2 drops this Sunday on HBO and Max. Also, if you're a Sabrina Carpenter fan, the new Sabrina Carpenter skin is available in Fortnite. When getting any of that from the Epic Games Store, Fortnite on your PlayStation, your Xbox, your phone, your tablet, your Switch, use this code PW Unlimited at checkout to support us at no extra cost. With all of that, we actually already have some bit donations here from Esports Gaming Rules. He says, what do you think of the selection of the 2025 WWE Hall of Fame inductees in the Legacy Wing? Because Triple H knows the Legacy Wing now better than Vince. The Legacy Wing is hit and miss for me. I like the three guys. Kamal is the perfect kind of guy for a WWE Hall of Fame. Ivan Koloff should have won it a long time ago. Dory Funk Jr. is perfect for the Legacy Wing. Someone that I can't think of ever actually wrestled in WWE, but contributions that he made to the sport directly impacted and helped and, made waves for WWE. So he was not a WWE Hall of Famer per se, because he never wrestled or competed or did anything for WWE on screen that I know of. I could be completely wrong. But his contributions to the sport of pro wrestling are being acknowledged here through the legacy wing. And I think I would, that for anything else is what the legacy wing should be for. Acknowledging people in the sport of professional wrestling that maybe didn't directly contribute to WWE, but made an impact on the sport that then, helped or made an impact on WWE in turn. That's what the legacy wing really should be. And he says, did you hear Eddie Kingston's new interview about his injury recovery? And I think he no longer watching AEW. I saw Eddie Kingston was trending a little bit today. I have not seen that. I've been in a couple of meetings and stuff. I have a convention we're producing. My business partner and I, we're producing a convention next week for a cybersecurity firm. And so we've been in meetings, hashing out all of that for the last day or so. Getting, graphics confirmed, and we need to know how many screens they want for signs and what they want on each sign, this, that, but, and then I got to figure it all out, make sure everything works and animates correctly. So yeah, been a little busy. That's why there's been a little bit of less stuff posted on the channel in the last week or two. Just been working on, other jobs and projects. It's tough starting a brand new business from scratch. You know what I mean? But with all of that, as far as Dynamite does go, Dynamite comes on the air with Excalibur welcoming us alongside Tony Schiavone, Taz, as the road to Double or Nothing begins tonight. They throw it to the Death Riders backstage. Jon Moxley said that this is the single greatest roster of pure talent ever assembled in AEW. So, why can't anyone get their act together when it really counts? They come with their talent, yet roll back down the hill, not addressing the real problem. They don't want it. This is something Moxley said before. Wrestlers here get complacent. They get paid and then just settle for mediocrity, basically. The Death Riders will scorch the earth with anyone who calls themselves a contender before they even get an inch. The Young Bucks have returned, but Moxley doesn't recognize them anymore, as they're stumbled upon a board and they didn't even know what game it is. Moxley said that he'd be careful if he was them before they make any moves. And so this does lead to our first match of the night. It is AEW World Champion Jon Moxley in a non-title match against Katsuyori Shibata. This match was announced in the afternoon, and I was just like, what the fuck? Huh? This took me off. This shocked me. This match getting announced did shock me. Shibata got the early advantage in the grappling battle, leaving Moxley scrambling to the ropes to regroup. Moxley opted to go for strikes, as a chop exchange worked better for him initially. Only Shibata screamed for more before sweeping out Moxley's leg and applied an abdominal stretch into an octopus hold. There's a signature stalling dropkick that connected, but Moxley popped up for a second attempt with a lariat, but Shibata kicked out the arm. Moxley then hit a pile driver, but Shibata no-sold and hit a PK flush. Both traded rear chokes. Moxley then raked the eyes, allowing him to sink in a deep choke, trapped the arm, and then Shibata went out in a shockingly quick match. Like, what was this? Shibata looked good, but then just got choked out. And I'm just like, that was it? What? And this guy's supposed to be challenging for the trios titles against the Death Riders? Mox looked like, yes, Shibata wasn't just an easy steamroll, but he looked like he didn't have real many problems with Shibata here, is the weird thing. So, Shibata didn't look as strong as I think he should, just in my opinion. Also, if you guys are unaware, the Pat McAfee Big Night is going on right now. Been going on since Dynamite started. We've seen a couple WWE names on there. Pat McAfee, of course. It's his show. But Michael Cole was drunk on there. Came out with a bottle of Jack Daniels. Jey Uso was on there. Yeaton talking about WrestleMania. Basically, they had a Jelly Roll concert. He only did like 5 songs, if not more. He was out there singing some Eminem. "You better lose yourself in the music the moment." I don't know the words, but he's singing that song. It's pretty cool. I paused it right now. I was watching, like, whenever Dynamite would go to a commercial, I'd unmute that. But post-match, the Young Bucks make their way out to the ring before Moxley and Shafir would just leave. Matthew and Nicholas have a face-off as Shafir stepped between them. The camera didn't catch that. Moxley said before he and Shafir left through the crowd. And I'm just like, AW production missing shit again. missing shit again. Nicholas told the crowd to give it up for Moxley in order for the fans to show respect to the EVPs. Moxley wondered why they cost Swerve Strickland the AEW World title at Dynasty. Well, they did it for their old friend, the Hangman Adam Page. They said that this is what he wanted all along. He never wanted Swerve to become the champion ever again. And, well, they helped him make that happen. They never forgot what their friends are or who their friends are. They love their Hangman, just like they know he loves them. I'm 99% sure this is going to lead to an all-in match, probably Hangman and Swerve against the Young Bucks, and I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Swerve and Hangman as a team. No, thank you. Matthew said they did it as a peace offering to Jon Moxley and the Death Riders as well. They sat at home and realized they have more in common with the Death Riders than they ever thought. They want AEW to be the best company in the world, just like he does. And just like the Bucks do, they all want to change the world. The Bucks are impressed with Moxley, who did what they couldn't, take over AEW and become world champion. They tried, but not successfully. Imagine the Death Riders and the Founding Fathers, the EVPs, all coming together. So they invited Moxley and his crew to come have a business discussion. And this led to the other EVP coming out in Kenny Omega. Excalibur told us that you can't mention Founding Fathers without this man. And Kenny got a big pop from the crowd. Omega said the Bucks did this for their friends like Moxley and Hanger, but they forgot to mention the last time we saw them, last time they saw one another, the Elite were pushing him off on a stretcher during the height of his diverticulitis. Omega never forgot, but he actually forgave them. As when he returned, it was for his legacy, not revenge. He didn't come to take them out. He didn't come to get them. No, he came to prove to himself and everybody else that he still has it. He said, we're trying to bring back that feeling. As Omega talks about, back in high school, he'd go to his friend's house to hang out, and the friends had a few dogs, ugly little Shih Tzus, who would always dookie on the floor. Over time, the more the dookie would pile up, he finally put his foot down and brought up how they should hang out. They should hang out at his place instead. It's the equivalent of what the Bucks have done in AEW. Omega said the Bucks shredded documents the last time we saw them, and then they ran away. We're supposed to be shocked by all of that when all it was were them shredding receipts for private jets and a chair in your master bedroom facing your bed, which got a chuckle from the crowd. Omega said, if it wasn't for the Death Riders, it was the Bucks that almost killed this company, and Omega has given his heart and soul for AEW. Omega can't lie, though. That time off did him real wonders. Nick looks every bit of the 90 pounds that he lost before, while Matt needs to lay off the hot stuff. He looks as red as Nick's lapels. Omega said that it's time to cut out the middleman, and he'll just come fight them right now. But before that can happen, the money dropped, and out came Kazuchika Okada. It was now 3-on-1 until Swerve's music would hit and Swerve and Prince Nana would run out. Swerve with a chair. Bucks and Okada would quickly bail and retreat. Strickland death stared the Bucks before glancing over at Omega, giving a fist bump. Omega left as Strickland proclaimed it claimed a buck hunting season, as he was a shotgun ready to go blasting some EVPs. Before Strickland could get going with saying anything, Pac blindsided him from behind, and that was our next match. So it ended up, next up we had Swerve Strickland versus Pac. And Pac just feels like a guy floating around. Yes, he's a champion, but he doesn't feel like he's anything of significance. And I really hope Pac is okay, because it really never got going before the little injury and whatnot. So Strickland recovered right as the match officially began, slamming Pac repeatedly into the barricade outside. Back inside, Strickland hit a violent buckle bomb and a leaping corner uppercut before hitting the gritty. Pac rolled to the outside as the referee and the doctors checked on Pac, who apparently legit hurt his ankle or foot, not sure. They all sort of just reset. Pac rolled slowly back in the ring, hobbled on one leg. Swerve took him down. Swerve stomp pinned him quickly. So, yeah, it looks like Pac may have been hurt, and they rushed to the finish. I don't know exactly what happened here. I haven't seen anything or heard anything yet, but let me see. Pac, see if anybody has posted anything yet. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything quite yet, but it did look bad. To the point where like the match just went straight to the finish. I don't know. Oh wait, hold on. We may have something. Let's see. Here we go. In a small update, and why is the camera freezing again? And the camera just went black. Okay, here we go. In a small update, PWInsider.com and F4W Online are reporting that Pac appeared to suffer an injury to his right foot or ankle during the Swerve match. As no, yeah, that's not much of an update. The spot believed to have resulted in the injury was when Strickland hit a buckle bomb in the corner immediately after taking the bump. That's when Pac clutched and went for the foot, rolling to the floor. Yeah. I thought we had an update here, but that's not really an update. It's just saying, hey, let me go to PW Insider because that's from Wrestling Headlines. Let's go to PW Insider real fast and see what they actually wrote. Let's see. Pac injured. Here we go. Mike Johnson of PW Insider does write the following. Pac suffered a legitimate injury to his ankle or foot during this his bout tonight with Swerve Strickland. He had to be helped from the ring and to the back. So, again, we don't really know much, but we'll figure it all out and see exactly what's going on. I don't know why my camera is freezing up. Like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fully give me 1 second, guys. Screen's going to go black for a second. I'm going to fully unplug it from the computer and plug it back in. I think it's when we did the game stream the other night, like a week ago or so. I took the camera downstairs and maybe it just didn't fully all get plugged back in properly. Give me like 30 seconds to just unplug and plug everything back in. It'll be quick. I'm still here. I'm not going anywhere. The stream's not going to stop or end. I want to just unplug everything. All right, give that a second. Kick back on. Might have to go readjust. Come on, camera. Come on, camera. Just give me one. Should go on by now. Oh, wait. There. Yep. Yeah, okay. Let's see if that works. I unplugged it all, plugged it into a different USB port. See if that runs smoother. But yeah, it is unfortunate that Pac did suffer an injury tonight to his ankle. Moving forward, we hear from both teams involved in the $400,000 tag team match happening later tonight. Ricochet said that he's the captain of his team, and there's a lot that he could do with $400,000. Well, the babyface team, Will Ospreay, said he's going to Disney World. Mike Bailey will buy shoes. Kevin Knight will go to Magic City, and Briscoe will, diversify his portfolio as they all get amped up. So, I thought that was funny. The whole Mike Bailey's going to buy shoes thing. I thought that was funny. Moving forward, give me 1 second. I'm going to do one more thing just to fully make sure we're good here. Okay. A video package on the Women's Owen Hart Foundation tournament is shown. We're told Billy Starks versus Jamie Hayter will take place, as well as Athena versus Harley Cameron this weekend on Collision. Mercedes Moné will face the winner of Athena and Cameron next week on what they're dubbing Spring Breakthrough in Boston. Also, we do have another bit donation from Esports Gaming Rules. He says, watching Pat McAfee Big Night on YouTube. And I think Young Bucks might be teasing Shane McMahon when Dynamite breaks WCW's Nitro record in episodes. Highly doubt it. I don't think Shane's coming in. From what we have heard and has been reported, Shane and Tony had that one meeting at that airport and have not spoken since. So unless someone's lying, I don't think Shane's coming in. I think if anything, Shane did it just to show WWE that, hey, maybe I can go work for the other side. So bring me back before I go do that. And it was all just a ruse. I mean, that's what a couple people have told me that they think it is. It's all Shane just trying to play things up to get back in WWE. Anywho, Renee Paquette's backstage and stops Hangman Page from power walking, but before she could ask him about the Owen Cup tournament next week and facing the wild card, pretty much ignored her. Page stormed into Swerve's locker room and screamed at Prince Nana, asking where's Swerve at. Prince Nana was like, hey, I've been wanting to talk to you. Listen. Want to make something clear. At Dynasty? Or first he said, well, I want you to know that at Dynasty I wasn't coming to help Swerve. He said, next week, we start the Owen. Swerve better not get in my way and interfere. Prince Nana tried to apologize and said, hey, we went too far. A year ago, we shouldn't have done what we did. He's like, hey, I ain't going to hear any of that. I don't want to hear it. And he stormed out. So it seems like Nana and Swerve are feeling regret for what they did, barging in and sneaking in and breaking into Hangman's house. And Hangman's like, yeah, a little too late to apologize. Then we had that $400,000 8-man tag. This was nothing more than just a party match with a lot of just shit going on. Ricochet immediately bailed out early to have Mortos start with Mike Bailey, who hit a quick Hurricane Rana off the second as Ricochet tried a blind tag and sneak attack. But Bailey was ready. So Leo Rush tagged in, and so did Ospreay. Andretti ran distraction to allow a blind side as Ospreay was stomped out in the corner. A little bit later, the heels went to the outside where Briscoe and Ospreay hit stereo dives on Crew. Knight flew over the post and wiped out Mortos, and Bailey hit a springboard moonsault on the pile as well. The baby faces gave each other all, high fives and handshakes, celebrations and whatnot as Ricochet tried to dive over the top. They all moved, and Ricochet did a wild flip landing on his feet. We've seen this before, but realized he was screwed. He slowly turned around and got paintbrushed by all four opponents. One point, Briscoe tumbled to the outside with Ricochet as Mortos was left alone in the ring with Bailey. They collided until Briscoe made the save. They both backflipped onto their feet and teased a double crane kick, sort of, both connecting as Ospreay flew in with an Os cutter and Knight hit the UFO splash, but all the heels broke up the pin. Everybody spilled to the outside except for Ospreay and Mortos as Ospreay hit the hidden blade and pinned him to win the $400,000 for the babyface team. Cool. It was just a party match. A bunch of shit happened, and there's no consequences, no stakes, no nothing. Match meant nothing for nobody. It didn't even tease things going forward for the Owen. It didn't tease anything or set anything up that I could think of for Double or Nothing. It was just a match for matches. It's like, hey, we're going to put 8 guys together for the fuck of it. We then see footage of FTR violently turning on Cope with Dynasty. Commentary again questioned if we'll ever see Cope again in AEW as his injuries he sustained. Well, have him out indefinitely. Tony Schiavone would scold FTR, calling them low, disgusting, and saying that this was a heinous act, one of the worst he's ever seen. But what did FTR take? The cake. He then said he hopes that all of this haunts FTR in their dreams. Okay, whatever. Sports Gaming Rule says, I still have a theory that McMahon's victims want The Rock to be the boss in real... Wait, what? McMahon's victims want the Rock to be the boss in real life and also in character so he can take over WWE thanks to TKO, and his first order of business is fighting... Okay, first off, I'm not reading all that because that's never going to happen. Never going to happen. The Rock is never going to 100% be in charge of WWE, and Triple H is not going to be fired by The Rock. So none of that's going to happen. Thank you for the bit donation, but that just sounds preposterous. Vince's victims want The Rock to be the boss. Where did The Rock learn business? Oh, from Vince McMahon. The Rock learned to do business from Vince. So if you think things will be better with The Rock in charge, people right now say the company's changed slightly for the better, but not much, if any. You put Rock in charge and it's going to be just the same. Rock is going to be busy making movies and doing all the stuff with $7 and Terramana and all that. He's going to have Nick Khan running the company. No. Rock's a member of the board. That's all he's ever going to be. So to say Vince's victims want The Rock to be the boss in real life, what does that even mean? What? Like, there is no way ever we see that The Rock is in charge of WWE. He's taking the Vince spot. No, that ain't going to happen. He's not going to ever be like chairman of the board or CEO or whatever. No. Nick Khan is CEO and president. Triple H is head of creative. And that's what we're getting. And that's what we've got. And it's been so much better with that. So, yeah, Rock can come in and suggest things. But I doubt he's ever going to come in and try to overrule Triple H and say, hey, you can't do this because I said so. No. I don't think. Yes, he's a board member, but just because The Rock is a board member doesn't mean he's got power over Triple H. Or power to fire Triple H. No, not at all. Moving forward, we have the Hurt Syndicate celebration. This wasn't really all that good at all. MVP said, Punk's jump up and get beat down. As 2 more challengers stepped up for the tag titles, and 2 more got beat down. Lashley and Benjamin raised bottles of champagne as MVP toasts to another successful defense, as MJF's music would then hit and interrupt. Lashley looked very disgusted by all of this. MJF said, they hurt people. Look at us, dripping in gold. You're welcome, boys. You couldn't have done it without me. He said, Tony Khan wanted me to be in the Owen. For what? Sweat his balls off? I don't think so. This way MJF can get back to the AEW World title as he scratches their back without his help. And I'm like, wait, you want to get back to the world title? Right now, the way to get back to the world title is goddamn win the Owen, dumbass. He then said, so what do we do? Is there like an initiation? Sign a contract? Blood brother oath? Lashley then told MVP, shut your mouth. As it was real cute that MVP tried to help them. But they got the job done, not him. And it's another reason they didn't need him. MJF and Lashley bickered until MVP and Benjamin finally stepped in to stop it. MVP said in order for MJF to join the Syndicate, he has to get 3 thumbs up. As MVP gives a thumbs up, Benjamin gives a thumbs down. Lashley hugs his tag partner, and they take the tag titles and leave. As MVP gives a shrug to MJF like, well, you didn't get it. MJF was then left alone on camera, frustrated, shoving the cameraman out of the way. This sucked. I don't know where the fuck this is leading to. Because you would think logically that, MVP or MJF wants to join them, but they don't want him. So in the end, MJF is going to find a partner to challenge them and take the tag titles from them instead. But who? There's no one that likes MJF enough to team with him. No. So in theory, where the fuck is this even leading to? Maybe gets backstage with Mega Bane and Penelope Ford. She asked about, what's next following Dynasty. Ford said that was only a taste of defeat, but nothing has changed. Megan Bane, she is going to show you guys why she is the mega sis and why she is better than Toni Storm. Toni Storm barely survived. And then she pushes Renee aside and she was just like, I will teach or show everybody. No, she's like, I will make everyone bow down. And I'm like, hey, she spoke. But it seems like Penelope Ford is more of her mouthpiece than her speaking for herself. She's got the one line, I will make you bow down. That's her line. That's it. I think it's like the second time we've heard her say it. And when she does her F5 deal, she screams it, bow down. And then she does her little F5 move. Yeah, she does nothing for me. She does nothing for me on screen, in the ring. Like, no. I'm not into it at all. So AEW Women's Champion Timeless Toni Storm made her grand entrance as she was on commentary for our next match. It was a Women's Owen Hart Cup match. Statlander versus Rosa. I thought this was one of the better things of the show. These two actually worked pretty well together. Good TV match. Storm said if she teamed with Statlander, they'd be called Thunder Thighs. But if she teamed with Tony Schiavone, they'd be called Tits. I'm just like, this is supposed to be funny? Just like there once was a man from Nantucket. Something, dick suck it. Like, what? Is this stuff supposed to be funny? It's not. The entire commentary team started laughing, and I'm just like, at what? Hold on. Gotta respond to this message really fast. Where was I? Rosa cut off a charge from Chris Statlander, missed a dropkick in the ropes, but Statlander also missed a slingshot elbow. Rosa connected the second time trying on her dropkick and followed with a seated senton off the apron. Storm mentioned that she loves Texas as it's big, just like her big package that no one can kick out of. Excalibur said Megan Bain has unfinished business with Storm, who said that business was finished in her eyes. No shit. How does Megan Bain have unfinished business with Tony Storm when Tony Storm beat her at the pay-per-view? It's not like Tony cheated or somebody screwed Megan Bain. No. Tony caught her, rolled her up, and pinned her. Decisive win. Not as decisive as she would have hit her with a Storm Zero and then pinned her. But still, win. There you go. No cheating, no screwing, no none of that. So why would Megan Bain still have unfinished business with Tony Storm? Bitch got beat. We'll go to a commercial break, and when we come back, Rosa was in the driver's seat. Storm was giving a PSA to the camera, telling the kids watching to please try this at home. Storm said that the last time she wrestled Statlander, she was dropped on her head and shrunk 3 inches. Then saw Tony Schiavone, and she popped right back up. And I'm just like, oh, Tony Storm, what are you doing? She's on commentary just trying to get herself over and pop herself and pop commentary instead of actually trying to get the women in the match over. Rosa tried for a Cazadora, but Statlander countered into a Blue Thunder bomb for a close near fall. Rosa then spun out of a Wednesday Night Fever and hit a Destroyer for a 2 of her own. Rosa hit a charging knee flush as she said that it's nothing personal between slapping Statlander in the face. Rosa charged, but Statlander cut her off with a wild lariat and hit a Wednesday Night Fever to win and pick up the victory. With that, Chris Statlander does advance into the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament. And let me pull the graphic up really fast. I don't, women's tournament. She will now face, Statlander will face the winner of Jamie Hayter versus Billy Starks. The match is happening Saturday. I really thought Thunder Rosa was going to win here and make it to the finals because they're in because they're teasing, people from Texas getting the title shot. No, I was way off here. I was way off. Thunder Rosa didn't even make it out of the first round. So, Don Callis is backstage with Takeshita and Fletcher, saying all roads are leading to the Don Callis family finale in the Owen Hart Cup. Callis said Brody King got one over on Lance Archer, but shan't happen again against Takeshita. His men are in their 20s, oiled up, hot, and, well, ready to go. Given the rash of injuries recently, the family may be open to inviting a new member. So send your resumes and bank account info, as they'll take you straight to the top. Adam Cole's backstage with the Undisputed Kingdom. Kyle O'Reilly said ever since joining them, he's been, chasing titles. But it's kicked off with Cole winning the TNT belt. Roderick Strong said that it's time to win titles of their own. Cole said that he came back from back-to-back injuries and the toughest tests of his life. But he stands here, TNT champion. They stand before you, the paragon of pro wrestling. And that, that's undisputed. So yeah, they're just a three-way guy, a trio, I guess you would say. They're just a trio. Screw the Kingdom. Bennett and Taven, they're gone. It seems like I don't know what's going on with them. But next up, we have TV time, but we got a couple more bit donations here to read. He says, Esports Gaming Rule says, Monet is going to be busy collecting belts and possibly losing belts. And is Tony Storm getting Wendy Richter for Hollywood Dream Match All in Texas 20? No. All in Texas? No. Wendy Richter in the Owen? No. She's facing the winner of the Owen. So that's not happening. It says, did you see Chelsea Green interview with Click and Tell podcast? I love her Kairi Sane story in Stardom before their time in WWE. No, I did not. No, I did not. Trey says, what kind of name is that? What does Paragon even mean? What is Paragon meaning? A person or thing regarded as perfect. So they say they're the, I guess, excellence of execution. It says a perfect example of a particular quality. So they're saying they're the perfect group of pro wrestling or of pro wrestlers. So let me get TV time with Chris Jericho and the learning tree. And this was interesting at best. Jericho comes out all sad and somber saying on Sunday he lost the match, tooth and title, which, despite being disappointing, congratulates Bandito for pulling it off. After months of conflict with one of the greatest wrestlers of all time himself, Bandito saved his mask as he was with his family. Bandito has a family, and Jericho then brings out Big Bill and Brian Keith. Jericho said that he'd hoped that all three of them would be walking out here with gold this week. That didn't happen because they didn't win the tag titles. Bill cut Jericho off and said, hey, I know what you're going to say. You're angry. You're mad. Whatever. Keith then stopped Bill, who said Jericho needs to hear this, as they've spoken about this. Bill said, there's a lot of respect for Jericho, one of the greatest of all time and a decorated champion in history of professional wrestling, which is why he decided to join the learning tree and learn from Chris Jericho. However, Bill didn't sign up to be a punching bag, to be the one that gets blamed when everything goes wrong. If he and Keith are just out here, or are actually out here to learn something, then teach them. But if this is a public humiliation, they don't want to be part of it. And they can leave right now. Bill knows that Keith feels the same way. Jericho gets in Keith's face and asks him, is this true? But says, that's not why he's brought him out here. If they thought that they have a lot more to learn from Chris Jericho, then start learning. He handpicked these two to stand by his side because he saw potential in both of them, both future champions, but was disappointed in both of them and the way things went down on Sunday. Some might say it's their fault, Big Bill's fault, that Jericho lost the ROH title because he never came out to help. And Jericho is not mad, he's disappointed. He then smashed the TV screen, saying again, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. Smash the TV screen. I'm not mad, I'm disappointed. Smash the TV screen. I'm not mad, I'm fucking disappointed, and smash the TV screen again. Jericho then just dropped the bat, or not dropped the bat. No, he kept the bat in his hand and left and jumped out of the ring. Crowd then chants, na 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 na, na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye. And I think this is Jericho getting written off of TV because they got a Fozzy 25th anniversary tour coming up, starting next month. So I think this is Jericho getting written off TV for that. He's gonna take some time away. And Big Bill and Brian Keith need to prove stuff to him while he's gone, is what I think this is going to be. We got footage of the returning 5-tool player Anthony Bowens answering Max Caster's open challenge during Dynasty 0 Hour. Bowens then says he's going to prove himself, and he'll face Blake Christian Saturday on Collision. Alicia Toots backstage with the Hurt Syndicate, asking where things go from here with MJF. Lashley said MJF is not to be trusted. He doesn't like MJF and they don't need him. Benjamin said that they don't need anyone but little George Costanza. Oh, I wrote this wrong. He said we don't need anybody, and little George Costanza is nothing more than funny. Make fun of MJF. Lashley walked away, annoyed, before there was a knock on the door and MJF walked in. MJF then looks at his real-life girlfriend, I think maybe even fiance, Alicia too. He goes, hey, we don't need you whoring around over here. Get out of here, skank. And he smacks her ass. He's like, it's an A-B conversation. We don't need you don't need a C out here, skank. Smacks her ass. She's like, ooh. She leaves. Oh, that was kind of funny. especially knowing that they're like a real life couple and stuff. But MJF is MJF asks MJF if he's more than a female dog to him and why he keeps getting treated like a bitch. MJF said that they know exactly who MJF is, but they're in a business, and as a consumer, you find out what they want and you give it to them. MVP walks away and MJF is left to think about the info he's given. Basically, it's like, hey, prove yourself to us. Prove your worth to the Hurt Syndicate if you really want to be part of the group. Jericho's then shown leaving the building. He went to smash like a crate of, looked like food, off of a bunch of other crates, and they didn't fall off the first time, so then he gets really mad and he baseball swings like hard and knocks it all off and leaves. Okay. Let me move on to our main event match of the night. This was solid and kind of okay. Samoa Joe and Hook the Ops against Death Riders Claudio Castagnoli and Wheeler Yuta. Joe and Yuta started things off with Joe no-selling a forearm, causing Yuta to hightail it, realizing he's pissed Joe off. He tagged in Claudio. For some quick uppercuts and jabs traded by both, Joe hit a corner enziguri and then tagged in Hook, who worked over the midsection of Claudio. Castagnoli didn't budge on a T-bone attempt, slammed Hook down, tagged in Yuta, who then leapt off with a dive, only for Hook, well, calmly sidestepped the Joe spot. After 3 suplexes, Joe tagged back in and hit his signature snapmare, boot to the back and a leaping elbow. Hook was back in as Yuta is sent to the apron as they pulled out Hook's legs to the apron, allowing Castagnoli to hit a double stomp and take control into the last commercial break for each, for the final, the last commercial break of the night. Hook tried to mount a comeback, but Yuta cut him off with an angle slam as we come back from a break. Castagnoli toyed with Hook, who finally battled out of the corner with a huge T-bone for the double down. Yuta cut off Joe before the tag, but turned into a overhead hook throw. Hook wanted a tag, but Joe wasn't there. So Castagnoli flew in with a freight train uppercut, powerbomb, top rope, clothesline combo for Yuta and Castagnoli to get a 2. As Joe and Castagnoli brawled on the outside, Joe hit a huge Uranagi inside the ring. Hook applied a red rum before Jon Moxley applied and ran down. Jon Moxley appeared and ran distraction, allowing Yuta to rake the eyes before the submission was broken. Moxley then grabbed a chair, but Katsuyori Shibata would come up and apply a rear naked choke from behind. Things then got very, very just kind of chaotic here. Joe then had a rear naked choke locked in on Claudio as Hook applied the red rum to Yuta, and they got the submission victory. So the baby faces do pick up the win, but that's not all. Post-match, Marina Shafir then clipped Joe in the knee with a chair as Castagnoli placed the chair opposite end up and hit Hook with a neutralizer on it, taking out the little guy. Death Riders then bailed as Joe and Shibata made the save with chairs as he was left, Joe was left livid and Castagnoli smiling and laughing from the crowd. Joe grabbed a mic and streamed, "Death Riders, you're nothing but cowardly sons of bitches." He said the Ops came to Baltimore to get the first shots in on this fight. And the Death Riders, maybe more like Dick Riders. Joe then wants something simple, the Trios titles. He said the Ops versus the Death Riders for the Trios championships. So yeah, Joe and Shibata then check on Hook as the show goes off the air. Cool. It did nothing for me, to be honest. Like, I love Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe is amazing. But him and the Ops going for the Trios titles, it almost just feels like they got the veterans in there to try and help elevate Hook, is all the Ops is. So, I don't know. It's just, it just kind of didn't do it for me, to be completely honest. As far as Collision does go this weekend, it will be a live Collision. In the Women's Owen Hart Cup, it's Jamie Hayter versus Billy Starks and Athena versus Harley Cameron. Winner of that one will face Mercedes next week. Anthony Bowens will take on Blake Christian. We hear from FTR. And Brody King takes on Takeshita in a men's Owen Hart Cup match. Let me get the poll going here really fast on Twitch. What? I think Dynamite. I liked it. right. I didn't like it. All right, so let's check out these polls really fast. Let me just say right now, I wasn't the biggest fan of this Dynamite. I just got a message from a friend saying, "Are you watching the Pat McAfee thing? He's completely shit-faced right now." I mean, Pat was, when I paused it, he was halfway there. Oh, I'm looking at these polls. Not in favor of Dynamite. At least not the Twitter poll. And the Threads poll nah. All right, so as far as the Threads poll does go, 56% thought the show was just okay, 22% liked it, and 22% didn't like it. Looking at the Twitter X poll, 65% didn't like the show, 30% did, and 5% thought it was just all right. Looking at the YouTube community poll, 45% didn't like the show, 38% did like the show, and 16% thought it was just all right. Looking at the live poll, 67% liked it, 21% didn't, and 12% thought it was just all right. And then as far as the Twitch poll does go, 50% didn't like it, 50% did like it. With that, guys, that is going to wrap everything up. I want to say thank you for joining us here. Twitch.tv/PW Unlimited, YouTube.com/Pro Wrestling Unlimited, and podcast versions all around the globe like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Pod, Apple Pod, Anchor, iHeartRadio, and so much more. I can tell you now, there will not be a Dynamite review next week, as I'll be out of town in Dallas, Texas, doing work there. Again, like I stated earlier, my production company is putting together and running a convention for a cybersecurity company in Dallas next Thursday. So I got to be actually down there Tuesday, Wednesday to make sure everything gets set up properly. And then, yeah, I'll be back. So we'll do SmackDown on Friday this week, Raw on Monday next week. Then I leave for Dallas on Tuesday, come back on Friday morning afternoonish time. So you'll get your Raw and your SmackDown reviews next week, but you won't get a Dynamite one because I will not be available. But I will still give you news throughout the week. I will still give you guys news all next week. It'll probably be one of those, hey, I got to pull the camera up and just do it like this. But you guys, if there's news, especially going into WrestleMania next week, you will get news. So just a heads up for that, as the content's going to be a little bit different for next week. But with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining me here. Have a great night. Have a great rest of your week. And I'll see you Friday for Friday Night SmackDown. Nope, not getting shit-faced, Elite. I don't drink. Have a good one.